What's up, dudes? My Vernon Kier coming to you again. Told you guys I was going to be a little late with the books that came out the 11th of last week. But hope you guys don't mind the lateness. I'm pretty much wrapping up this week's books as well. So, that'll be up by tomorrow. But I guess, you guys want to hear what I thought about last week's books as well. So I hope you don't mind once again. So let's kick it off with a couple of books. Got a fair DC, Marvel, and of course 3 independents for you for last week. Now, granted, probably people have already seen my mentors video and everything like that, and other people's review, but like I said before, I'm here to throw my review. So let's kick it off with the Dark Knight himself, Batman number 11. The epic finale of Court of Owls. Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo. I kind of gotta agree with my mentor, Blue Goblin, on this. I was a little let down, I thought it'd be a little bit more epicness to the epicness, but I just didn't like the constant talking from Thomas Wayne Jr. or it's supposedly, but it still was good. It's just that the god dang monologuing that this guy was doing was just like, oh, I was just like, oh, Bruce, should you shut him up? Just shut him up, please. I thought it'd be a little bit better and more revelation and like more cliffhanger shocks. But overall, the Court of Owls story arc with Scott Snyder was really good. But this just kind of felt a little flat for me. That's all. Just me. That's just me. Batgirl number 11, Nightfall Ascends. Gail Simone, you can't say anything bad about her. My mentor talks to her on Twitter, and I haven't been able to talk to her yet on Twitter. Yes, I'm on Twitter now, guys. But I did get to talk to somebody on Twitter. I got to talk to Scott Snyder on Dan Slott on Twitter one time, which was really good. He actually replied to a comment of mine. That was really fun. But other than that, Nightfall, this was good. This really showed off how good Babs is. Using how intelligent she is when she's fighting. I'm forgetting the individuals that she fought here, but like one of them, he percused acid, like he sweated acid out of his hand. I was like, oh, that's disgusting. But she did a very good job in this book, and we got to see a little bit of who this Nightfall character is. It's crazy, but there's some more interesting plots and twists in there that Gail Simone just loves to throw us, and it was good. All right, Grifter number 11, face to face with Sinig. So Grifter and the group, Cheshire and Deathbolt, Death Blow, excuse me, try to recruit some more members to, and they go up against this guy right here, this guy called Sinig. It gets really intense, and we also get to see more of Grifter showing off his telekinetic abilities more. That's how he's able to defeat this guy. But then we also get some revelation, and I know this book's been out like about 6, 7, 8 days by now, so little minor spoiler here. One of the members of Grifter's Cole's resistant team actually betrays them, and well, let me just tell you who it is. It's Cheshire. She actually betrays them. She joins Hellspawn and the DYNAMITEs. She was like, why should we fight, when we're destined to lose? So she'd rather be on the winning side. She shot Death Blow and knocked out Cole and took them to see Hellspawn. Yeah, pretty much action packed through that issue right there. All right, Ravagers #3. Ooh yeah, Rise Blood, Brother Blood rises. Yes. First of all, let me tell you like this: the Howard Mankey and Ian Churchill, who probably is the artist of Ian Churchill, makes Brother Blood in this look like the Kurgan from Highlander. I'm not joking. I am not joking. But he looks badass. He looks menacing. He looks creepy, demonic looking. It was crazy, and we just get to see what is in store for what Brother Blood is going to bring. The 52 look of Brother Blood is menacing, guys. I'm not even joking. He just looks seriously. You can get kind of a look there. He looks seriously demonic. And he's got all these followers, and they're like, blood. It's crazy. But yeah, still pretty good. Very good. All right. So that's all the DC for you for last week. We'll move on to Marvel, and we'll kick it off with real quick. Avengers Assemble #5. Bendis, one of my favorite artists, Mark Bagley. Yeah, get a look at the cover. Yeah, that's Hawkeye and Black Widow kissing. Yeah, they did smooch a kiss in this. Basically, the Guardians of the Galaxy come to inform, the Avengers on who Thanos is and things like that, and what basically it's just a meeting of the two teams, and it gets more into depth of what the other celestial, the other people in the galaxy think of Earthers and Earth in particular, and things like that. Especially when the Guardians start talking about it, and even Star-Lord, who is Earthling himself, he even talks about it. He's like, Earth could join the, like, it's almost like the Alliance in a way, but it's like you guys are always constantly fighting. Like, it's like something is always coming your way. The Skrulls, the Kree, yada yada, everybody. So it's hard for them to join. But other than that, that's pretty much what this was all about. The kiss right there happens when Widow is hurt, and Hawkeye's like, come with me, let me heal you, patch you up. And Hawkeye's like, look, Natasha, you don't have to go around acting like you're tough. Everybody knows you're tough. If you're hurt, tell somebody. And he's like, you're one of my best friends, so I don't want you. And then she locks lips with him. She plays tonsil hockey with Hawkeye, and they're just like, oh my God, like, I'm sorry about that. What happened? So yeah. Well, yeah, that's it. All right. Um, Avenging Spider-Man #9. Guest starring Captain Marvel. Yeah. Basically, Carol Danvers as Captain Marvel in this. Terry Dobson is the artist. Terry Dobson and all them are, and Rachel Dobson are the artists. So you can really tell Terry and the Dobsons' artwork. Um, let's just put it like this: the chemistry between Carol and Peter are still there. There's still some lot of, kind of like a little flirtation thrown at each other. Especially like they keep talking about, Nate, tell me something that nobody knows about you, Peter, and everything like that. Carol was gonna take Peter to Boston to go visit. He was gonna get a free ride. Carol has this plane, and she was gonna fly him to Boston to go see Aunt May. And then that's where everything starts going crazy and haywire. Uh, but yeah, bottom line, it's still there. I'm glad to see Marvel has not forgotten about, that maybe they're throwing us a little, like, maybe, these two might hook up. Because I was really enjoying the fact that, Peter and Carol was liking Peter. She actually likes Peter. Like, I'm talking like she wouldn't mind dating him. I wish they'd have did that. I mean, it would be cool to see Peter with a superheroine girlfriend that can literally take care of her. So, and I put the emphasis on literally taking care of herself. Oh boy, yeah. Shock to the System comes to an end. The Shock to the System story arc, Captain America number 14, Ed Brubaker. Twittered to Mr. Brubaker, you did a hell of a job with this story arc. So basically, it's Cap fighting one of his good friends, the Demolition Man, the D-Man, who is the new Scourge, and I've never seen Cap get so beat up the way he did in this. But I can understand why. He didn't want to fight his best friend, a good friend of his. But still, I've never seen Cap tromped to the point where D-Man was gonna kill him. He took his shield and he was gonna. And I don't want to spoil what happens to D-Man, but still, the point is, Cap is not happy about what the new Hydra and Madam Queen Hydra and Agent Bravo and her husband Agent Bravo have done, and he wants payback. And he's even said, yeah, they won this round, but the battle ain't over, the war ain't over. So we get the next story arc that's coming soon. You have another one of my favorite artists, Deodato, on this book, which was really good. I'm a big fan of Deodato's artwork, and this was just really gritty. The fight scene in here was just superb and crazy, very much. I was very impressed at this, so much. All right, let's move on to Fantastic Four Annual number 33. Alan Davis does the writing and I believe the artwork on this as well. I had to read this like a couple of times to really understand what was going on, but it seems that this is supposed to take place, I believe, sometime it's a flashback because Doctor Strange is still the Sorcerer Supreme in this, so I'm guessing, yeah, this was like a back issue. But I thought it was really funny, Ben and Johnny, like they just all crashed out, like they just, and there's the whole area's a mess and things like that, and then just it's like it's going from back in time to the future. They're looking through the eyes of the lives of this boy and things like that. The boy, when I'm forgetting the boy's name, but when he was a kid, he thought Johnny was a fire sprite and things like that. But it's very interesting, but you have to really sit down and read it carefully to really understand what's going on at sometimes. The story is to continue in the Daredevil Annual and the Wolverine Annual. And since I do read both Wolverine and Daredevil, look for those to come. But yeah, it was there. All right. New Avengers number 28, Bendis Deodato. Yeah, this issue spotlights on these three characters: Spider-Woman, Luke, and Hawkeye. They're prisoners of war by the X-Men. They're on Utopia. They're in the X brigades. They're pretty much in jail, and you see different mutants coming there, giving them food and stuff. You have one mutant who's there, who's able to dampen their powers, so they can't use their powers. Well, Spider-Woman and Luke can't use their powers. You got Warpath bringing Luke Cage, bringing him food and stuff, and Luke hasn't shaved. It's probably been a while because Luke actually he's growing a beard, he's growing his hair back, and he's just telling them like, look, if anything, he thinks he's gonna die, so he's like, well, look, tell my daughter that I love her, tell my wife, to my daughter that I love them, and things like that. You got Magma bringing Hawkeye her food, and Hawkeye's like, and she's like, be careful, we're not supposed to give you any kind of utensils, anything like that, because you can use it as a weapon, like, Hawkeye's great marksmanship. And she puts his food in the cell, and Hawkeye breaks her arm, like, he literally dislocates her arm, and if it wasn't for Warpath just coming in and pushing him back, he would have did more damage, and he literally threw the tray back at her, right in her throat. He went, right through like the little area, like you know they slide the food in the prison. He went and caught in the throat. Um, and it looks like they escaped. It looked like they escaped from the prison, but it was all in their head because Danger has them all locked up in some kind of, you know, some kind of that's having them mentally like a simulation that keeps them from going over and over and things like that. So clearly in this issue, it really showcases that the X-Men are kind of the bad guys here. And it is even cool. I love the line that Luke Cage gives in them. I think it's Luke Cage or Spider-Woman, where they said, it's kind of funny that none of you other X-Men can think for yourselves. It's like, and it's kind of true now. It's like, y'all are now just following, you know, the Phoenix Five. Or, I'm not going to spoil that. But yeah, it's like, and you know this is wrong. You know some of this is wrong. And you guys are just following. You're just like little sheep just following the sheep herder. And that kind of touches, it kind of gets to some of the X-Men there, but still, it's all about just these three. It was good, but it was sad to see, especially Luke, who was in jail already, you know, and seeing Luke almost broken like that, like, you know, him giving up. That really was like, oh, come on, Luke, I know you better than that, man. You don't give up. You're not gonna give up. But it almost looked like they were breaking, and even Spider-Woman, like, you know, who's been a triple agent and has done all kinds of stuff, you figure, you know, she would never be broken so easily. But Danger, you know, seeing that she's in like a robot, she doesn't really have too many emotional feelings. So she's all like, you know, you should have thought about that before you attacked the mutants and stuff like that. So, next up, Scarlet Spider #7. I gotta agree. All the power, none of the responsibilities. Yeah, this issue starts off really fun. You know, Kane, you know, he's not the hero that, you know, the hero, you know, dun, 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 you know, it's more like, okay, I gotta do this. I guess I should go patrol the city. You know, things like that. And then there's an explosion. He saves this girl. He gets laid by this girl. And, you know, he gets some from this girl, and then he just goes off. And he's like, you know, you start hearing all these news footage all over, and he's like, I don't care. I don't care. And then the woman, the psychic that he saved from the first from the first couple of issues, she's like, you know what, Kane, get out of here. So I'm tired of, you know, your mind is protruding about, I don't care. Get out there and go patrol. And that's when everything starts to mix up. We also get the Ronox, you know, Ronox, I can't pronounce that company name. ROXXON, yeah, is involved in this. And then at the end, pretty much, the Scarlet Spider comes face to face with remember the 50 State Initiative? Remember the Rangers? That team that was based in Texas. We get to see them in this issue at the end. Firebird, Texas Tornado, I believe that's his name, and things like that. So it looks like there's going to be a fight between him and Kane. But this has still been great. Very good. I can't wait till they do that crossover between Kane and Venom when they go up against Carnage. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah. All right. Moving on. Spider-Man #3 of 5. This was fun. This was really fun. So it's Peter and Miles versus enemies of their versions of their enemies. So you got the 616 Spider-Man villains and some of the villains of Miles, like his uncle and people like that. Mysterio is the mastermind behind it, and this was just really fun. And you know, Peter 616 Peter, well, I should say, yeah, just Peter goes off to find out, is it true? Like, he's still not really believing that he's in this world. He's thinking it's a fake, it's a dream, and he goes off to tell everybody, you know, it's like he needs to get some answers. And it's who, after a while, it's who he goes to see. Once he goes to like this little mini market, and he uses this girl's the girl's iPad, and he researches it up and looks up, and get the title and everything. Peter Parker, known as the hero Spider-Man, is dead. Yeah. And he's like, oh my god, like I can't believe this. And so then he goes off to who you think. I'm not even going to spoil that. You should already know who I'm talking about. And it was like a big shocker there. But yeah, this was fun. This been really good. So far Bendis has not been missing on this. It's been a good run with this so far. 2 more issues to go. I wonder how they're gonna end this. Very good. And Miss Pichelli, please come back to Ultimate Spider-Man. Why are you not on Ultimate Spider-Man? I want you back on the regular title. I miss your artwork on that series. Not saying the other artists suck, but I'm just saying I liked yours on it. That's all. Yeah. Venom number 20. Rick Miranda has outdone himself on this issue. Man. This is the Savage 6 Part 3. Flash starts taking it to the Savage 6. No problem. I'm talking about the 2 members of the Savage 6 he goes up against. Well, I shouldn't say, well, he goes up against. Well, one of them is Death Adder. And what he does to Death Adder in this, oh man, was crazy. Then he saves his mom from Human Fly. I think I'm saying his name right. Yeah. And what he does to him. And then we find out who the crime master is. And right there, another. Oh my god. This has been really, really good. I can't wait to see what they bring in the next one. And what's going to happen with Eddie Brock. Forget Eddie Brock is the new Toxin now. So, can't give Eddie a break, man. His life is intertwined with symbiotes. That's pretty much it. That's the way I sum up Eddie Brock's life. It's intertwined with symbiotes. But that was great. And last but not least, Wolverine and the X-Men number 13. Jason Aaron's, Bradshaw's artwork. Like my mentor, like I said, his artwork is growing on me. It's tolerable. I can take it. This is all about a father just trying to get his child back. That's all it is. And what happens in this? Gladiator comes, and he wants his kids back. He wants his son back. That's all he wants. And then there's a fight between the Shi'ar and the Phoenix Five. And once again, it just showcases in this that the Phoenix Force is corrupting them. And they really, really... You got even Gladiator in here telling, telling Cyclops and them, like, give up that power. It's going to kill you all. And, Cyclops is not trying to hear that. In a way, this is all Cyclops is hearing. We also get some good backstory on Warbird and the fact that, some intertwined, like she didn't even really want to be what she wanted, what she is now. They still play up the whole relationship that might go on between her and Iceman, because she literally says it. She chops up Iceman, and he's like, "You didn't even give me a chance." She kisses him, and she's like, "Still, no matter what, still, I would have you in bed with me in a heartbeat." I'm like, oh my god, like she's smitten with Bobby. I swear, she's smitten with him. But we see something happen to, Gladiator, and this was just like, man, like it was almost like a damn. That was like they were the Phoenix Five. What they did to Gladiator is, it was almost like they were like a damn street gang. That's a glorified street gang that just went for a thugging, just stepping all over and punching and things like that. I was like, oh God, like, could y'all be any more dicks? You know that, but yeah, the ending is really what sums it up, man. You got Warbird just carrying Gladiator, a beaten Gladiator. Man, it's crazy. But Aaron's still does a great job. All right. I'm sorry about that, guys. Dropped one of my books. Uh, Moving on, we move on to the last independent. So we got 2 from Dynamite and 1 from Valiant Comics. So let's kick it off with Mr. Steve Austin himself, the Bionic Man number 10. This is the end. Kevin Smith, Phil Hester. This is the end of the story arc between uh, Hull, the first Bionic Man that the OSI created before Steve was, and his siege on Washington and his army of robotic men. This was just action-packed from start to finish. Steve in this goes for broke. All his, the whole saying, we can make him stronger, faster, all that is put to the test in this. Very much. And even till he goes after, Hull, it gets crazy. The battle sequences the panels in this was just full spread, just brilliantly drawn. I was loving it. To the point where Steve just, was just like, you know what? Because the owner of OS, the bitch that I was talking about, she's like the Amanda Waller of this book. She was like, shut Steve Austin down, shut him down. She's got like this safe shutdown to him. So what Steve does is, before the shutdown completely takes over, he literally rips his bionic arm off, and jabs it into Hull. So the shutdown goes into him and shuts him down completely. That's how he defeats this guy, Hull, the first Bionic Man. But they rebuild him. He saves his girlfriend, Jamie Summers, who is actually the Bionic Woman later on. And basically, OSI is reborn with a new director, and they rebuild Steve, basically. And Steve just goes off to tell, like, look, I don't know if I can be an agent right now anymore. I need some time off. Besides, I need to go talk to my family, because his family thinks he's dead. So, that's the next issue. Issue 11 is him going to, I'm not sure where, somewhere in the countryside, as you said. I think Colorado or somewhere, Utah, I'm not sure, where he's gotta confront his family about, hey, people, I'm alive. I'm not dead. I'm not technically alive. Well, I'm not technically dead. I'm half android, but yeah. But this was really good. If I keep saying it, if you want to get into the Bionic Man and want to give Kevin Smith his version of the Bionic Man a try, I do recommend it. Once again, if you're trying to get outside of just the big 2, give it a try. Very good. Next up, number 2, Panther, number 2. This issue was kind of slow. Not as fast-paced as the first issue was. More of story-driven. A lot of dialogue in this issue. It's more into the aspect of, Panther's life before she became what she is now. When she was a priestess for Sekhmet and everything like that. But that's pretty much what this was. This was a little bit slow-paced. I was a little bit, not let down, but just like, man, I wish there was some action in it. Not all the time I'm always looking for action in books, but, this was just really, really more driven by, dialogue. But it was okay. All right. And last but not least, Bloodshot, number 1. Dwayne Swedzinski is the writer of this. It's the first of the new, really born of the Valiant universe. Okay, so Bloodshot. I remember Bloodshot back in the days, so that's why I picked it back up. So he is, or is he? This was a lot. This book was really about, is he or is he not? Is everything that he remembers a lie, or is it just made up? But let's just put it like this: he has these powerful nanites in him that he can pretty much come back from anything. Um, but he's an agent though, or is he? You know, that's where you see, that's where the whole twists and turns come in. Um, but I was really looking forward to picking this up. Mr. Swedinsky does a really good job of the twists and turns. Does he have a real family, or does he not? You know, or does he have three families? Because they went on and talked about he's got it was crazy, but just it was fun. It was really fun. I really enjoyed this. It reminds me of a mixture of 24, Mission Impossible, and all those other great spy genres. But it was fun. I can't wait till the next issue. Yeah. But if you are a fan of Bloodshot, give it a try. Okay, so those are all the books that I picked up for last week, guys. Once again, I apologize for the extreme lateness. Okay, I apologize for that. And the other thing I want to do is, if you don't mind, amen. That is a prayer to the families, that lost one of their loved ones in that tragedy in Colorado yesterday or so. So I'll be doing another prayer for them on my next review. But my heart and prayers go to all the family that lost, those 12 families that lost an individual that night. Such a tragedy. But I'm not going to talk about it, so don't ask me to talk about it. But I just thought I'd give a prayer to them. But other than that, I will see you guys tomorrow with the review for this week's book. And y'all take care.